give me hope that we will have a brighter future in this country. I come here because I'm visiting schools in this area to come and establish the readiness of the teachers to commence with their work, but also to come and interact with learners to get a sense from them whether they are ready for their task. We, as the government of Northwest, want to ensure that every learner has the opportunity to realize his or her potential. Dit is die groot werk wat ons doen. Ons wil net sê, ons weet, ons is bewus. Die kern van onderwys is lees, skryf en rekenkunde. Maar daar's ook 'n groot belangrike rol wat onderwys speel in ons lewe. Karakterbou. Karakterbou. Karakter sal jou help in jou lewe. Karakter sal jou sê hoe om te reageer in moeilike situasies. Karakter sal sê jy moet respek toon aan jou ouers, aan jou onderwysers, aan mense in die gemeenskap. Karakter sê wanneer die onderwyser iets sê, ons luister aandagtig. Wanneer die onderwyser vir ons beveel om iets te doen, ons doen dit. Wanneer ons by die huis kom, ons studeer, ons berei onsself vir die volgende dag. Wanneer ons dit alles doen, ons doen dit nie vir ons ouers nie. Ons doen dit nie vir die onderwysers nie, vir die hoof nie. We are doing it for ourselves. We are doing it for ourselves. Only education can make us better people. Only education. You can have wealth, you can have money, you can have all these beautiful things that people desire. But just think about it. If you are not educated, if you don't have an understanding of the world, because education is not, as I said, only about mastering reading, writing, and arithmetic. It's also broadening your understanding of the world. Hoekom gebeur die? Hoekom is daar reën? Why is there climate change? Onderwys help ons. We are not going to be people who are always identifying problems only. In life, it is a good step, the first step, to identify a problem. But the big challenge is, you know the answer, Mos. What is the big challenge? What is the big challenge? The first step, to solve the problem. To solve the problem. And in our country, we have serious challenges. And the number one challenge today is in our country. There are many currently. Hoor daar. Julle ken almal die antwoord. Julle moet dit nie sê nie. Ja, hoor daar so? Load shedding. That's a groot probleem. Ek sien ons lag, maar that's a groot probleem. And when people talk about it, some of them are very glib about it. They talk about it as if it's a simple matter. It's a difficult problem. People sometimes use it as a football. to score points against one another. But it's a serious challenge. Up to this point, there is no single person who's advanced a solution. Sê kyk hier's 'n oplossing. En daar is sulke probleme. Hy wil net ja, dit is waar. Dit is waar. There is always a solution. But sometimes our brains, our minds are not yet ready to access that solution. We require a lot of research. We require a lot of analysis, a lot of thinking before we can reach the solution. But there's no point in quibbling, in always complaining. If I understand that this is a problem, I should treat it as such and say this is a problem and prepare myself to live with this problem if I can't find a solution. But sometimes it is in the nature of the human beings, we meant to complain and complain and complain. But do you realize this is a complex problem with no simple solutions? How many people are studying science here? And how many people have looked at electricity? And how many people have even thought about what is this thing, load shedding? In Nigeria, sometimes they are worse than ourselves. Of course, you don't have to compare yourself with the bad performers. In America, they sometimes experience this, they call them blackouts. But they are not, as regular as what we are experiencing here today. So this thing is all over the world. Because in the world, we are going to have two major problems linked to climate change and so on. One of them is scarcity of water. The other is power. Scarcity of water. Scientists must devise ways of creating rain. Ek weet ons bid net vir die reën, maar mense in science moet ons help. How can we create rain so that we must have water? You do understand that water comes from the ground, but that water that comes from the ground comes from the rain. It goes down there and we use that water. If you don't have rain, we won't have water. But as the population is increasing, there is pressure on our resources. More people, and then more people are going to use water, more people are going to use electricity, and we'll need more of this. But I'm not here to teach today. Ek is nie hier soos 'n onderwyser nie. Ek is hier om te sê, is julle gereed vir julle groot taak? Is ons gereed? Waar staan ons in terme van die presentasie van hierdie skool? Wat het ons bereik in terme van eksamen? Ons was 80%, 90% of 100%. So ons gaan nog 101 wees. Ek hoor so. So die wat hier was voor julle, het dit bereik. 100%. En dit moet altyd so wees. As ons kan, ons moet dit verbeter. Ek hoor ander mense sê, daar's iets soos 101%. I don't know. Maar ek is bly dat julle een van die skole is wat daai 100% bereik het. Ons verstaan mos almal Afrikaans. Litswana rasiboa rotlhe. Rasiboa rotlhe. Rasiboa rotlhe. Hoor ander mense mompel maar net. Maar ek is bly om julle te sien. Ek wens julle almal die beste in hierdie jaar. Die beste. En ek weet julle gaan hard werk. Dit laat my altyd lekker voel. Wanneer ek die skole hier so vergelyk met ander skole in ander provinsies. En sê ja, ons doen beter as hulle. Daar is positiewe kompetisie dat ons doen en ons moet altyd onsself vergelyk met die beste en sê ons wil beter doen as hulle. Maar jy weet, ek hou baie van musiek. Ek sal bly wees as julle vir my kan sing. Iets sing wat my laat sal laat dans. Wat kan ons sing? What can we sing? Waar is die skoolkoor? Waar is die koor? Begin koor.